Welcome back to a very basic space program. It's episode 72, I think. We're really rocking through them. Last time we went to Venus, we got some science, and I guess we should spend it and probably do some more stuff this episode. So please join me. Right, we are in the science facility, and I'm just wondering what to spend all my science on. I'm thinking, do we do orbital rocketry? Do we go for some big engines? Do we go for maybe some more landing engines? We could do that. I'm definitely going to go for some hydrolocks. Going to go for that, and then what else have we got? We got the KVD-18. Don't know what that is. That's a sustainer. That's going to be thingy. We could get nuclear engines. We're not going to do that. I'm going to get the life support, so that's out of the way. We're going to get space station materials. I think I'm going to go for more capsules because I would like to get up to some of the bigger capsules for bigger missions. So we'll go for that, and then we'll take that, and then that takes us down to 60 science points, which basically means I can't get much apart from small nuclear reactors, which we're not going to get because, well, we'll get the Snap 19. Yeah, let's do that actually. Let's take that for 50, and then that means when we get the next 80, we can get the better Snap, or we could have a big BBS nuclear reactor on something. I'm sure we'll find a use for that. Right, now we've got some upgrade points to spend. So, upgrade points. We have 16 upgrade points to spend. Let's actually just have a look. What's our... Right, we have got a big backlog of tech. Our vessels, however, yeah, we're pretty much done with putting together vessels as well. So, I think we're going to put most of this into tech. Yeah, I think we're going to put it in the R&D. We're just gonna ram it in, just get it all the way up there. And you can see that's had a quite a big impact actually, hasn't it? Yeah, that's good. That's going to hopefully speed up the deep space communications, things like that, because we're going to need those. Right. Now, we do have a Neptune mission coming up. We have the Discovery 12 around Jupiter. It's got a burn in 14 days. We have to keep that in mind. But I think we're going back to Venus today. So, just a reminder, last time we put ourselves down on Venus, this is the Venus 1 lander, we damaged our solar panels, so we have actually got very limited availability of science right now, well, transmitting science, primarily because this thing is on the pole there. It's not going to get any more electricity because it doesn't have a solar panel. And yeah, we pretty much it's dead in the water. It's not coming back from that. Let's be entirely honest. So we need to have a look and see what else we've got in the region. We have over here. There's the orbiter craft of it, but we have over here Pathfinder Venus 2. So we're going to jump to that, and we're going to see about sending its probe down into the atmosphere. So here we are, Pathfinder Venus 2. You can see that it is still got its basically its transfer stage attached. We've got about 800 meters per second of fuel on that. We've got this orbiter stage here as well. And if we have a look, it's a terrible thing here. Let's just can we get a better view? Right, it is on a very elliptic orbit. If we actually have a look, it has got an inclination of about 2 degrees, so it's pretty much flat, which is lovely. It's in a lovely equatorial orbit for us for communications. It has a periaps up at 194, which is, again, really nice for us because, well, it does mean that we can actually play around with it. Now, what are we going to do here? I think I want to decouple when they're coming down, and then we're going to do a burn further down here. I think we're going to fix that out. So what are we looking at? We're looking at 3 days. What about to come to here? That's 9 days. About there, 10 days. Right, we've got 10 days. We've got 17 days until this thing. So if we do this on this pass, we have to do it on this pass. Okay, let's have a look. I think we think about dropping down our apoapsis probably about here. So we're going to warp to about there, 9 days away. The aim being that we can drop our apoapsis into the atmosphere. Batteries are getting low on the lander. Yeah, we know that. We can't do anything to fix that. It is going to die. Yeah, the lander is gone. The lander's batteries have died. We're not going to get any more signal from it. That's, we knew that was going to happen. Right. So we're going to warp around here. We're going to be about 5 days. And you can see the number 1 orbiter there, Venus Pathfinder 1 orbiter, is just going to keep going around. It will act as a relay for us. Can we actually, have we got signal to it? Yes, yeah, so you can actually see it's transmitting back. It is not communicating with us, interestingly. I'm guessing its range is a bit short. What we will need to do is once this thing has dropped in, we will actually need to circularize Pathfinder Venus 2 orbiter as well. So that's something we will probably do on its second pass, I think. Hopefully we will actually have electric charge and everything available to us. So I think what we're going to do is I'm gonna wait until we get closer, and then we'll just do a decoupling, because I want to use this relay as long as possible. So we're going to warp to about here. Yeah, it's going to be about a day, and then we will decouple, and we'll set this thing off into its desired new orbit. Where is there? We're at. There's Venus. Wonderful. Right. I don't know if this is going to work. We may go a bit crazy. We may not. I'm not entirely sure. We will see. Right. Here we go. So we're gonna be okay, I think. Oh, we got more points added. Have we got some science from somewhere? Where do we get science from? We're just getting science from everywhere at the moment, aren't we? 19 science. I'm sure we didn't have that much before. Right. How long until we're actually going to get to our periaps? We've got about an hour. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to decouple. We're going to decouple this. We're going to put it on the normal first. Actually, put it on the normal. There we go. Put our RCS on. There we go. We're going to put ourselves on the normal. We'll decouple this, and then we'll put it into a descent. This thing can fly around and continue to act as a relay for us. There we go. So we're just going to decouple there. There we go. That's now decoupled. Wonderful. We could really do with getting rid of that when we let it just swing around and decouple that. Wonderful. So that's now done. Right. Now going back to this one. Right, we have our heat shield there, which is going to be nice and great and wonderful. We've got the stuff going on. We're going to position ourselves retrograde. Here we go. Oh, actually, we don't. We want to position ourselves prograde because, of course, we're now controlling from this here, which is the problem. And we're going to swing around later. What we can do is, as we get close, we can actually burn every single bit of fuel out of this as we come in close, which is what we will probably do. To do some stuff. Right, we're going to do this. We're going to fire our engines up. There we go. We're going to pull this down to, I think, about 100. I want to say 100 is good, is it? I think 100 is probably okay. We'll try that. Right, and then we're going to go in a bit closer, about here. Yeah, we're going to warp to there, and we're going to be basically going for it at that point. Right, we've still got signal, have we? We're jumping through Pathfinder 2. Yeah, we are. And we've got a decent signal there as well. Okay, now let's have a look. We're going to turn off this. We're going to move ourselves. I want to go this way a bit. Which way do I want to go? I want to maintain where that periaps is. Actually, is what I want to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to say if I did that, the periaps would get pretty much eaten, wouldn't it? The periaps would be eaten quite considerably if I did that, I think. Let's have a look. Yeah, but then we could maybe pull it back out a bit by doing that and then do that. So what we'll do is I'm gonna put together a maneuver here which will maintain the periaps at a sort of altitude we want, but I'll also take out some of the energy that we can. We've got a lot of delta V to play with here. 1,400 meters per second of delta V, in fact, which is an awful lot of delta V to play with. So we can try and take out a big chunk of energy before we actually encounter that atmosphere. And I think that's going to be good for us. I think that's close enough. It's going to be 1,000 meters per second, probably about 800 in reality. We're going to put ourselves on the maneuver. Actually, we don't want to be on the maneuver. We want to be the complete other side of the maneuver, don't we? So actually what we could do is, if I can get in here, we can do a control from here. Control from here. There we go. Right. Okay, and then we can put ourselves on the maneuver. There we are. This will be better. Now, this may or may not work. We had a lot of problems last time with this thing coming in and it being very, very, well, shall we say it was unstable. So we're gonna try and do this. We're gonna try and achieve this, but I don't know if this is gonna work. So we're gonna warp towards. There we go. Hopefully we're gonna maintain signal. We've got our parachutes and everything ready. We've got 1.6 tons worth of craft here. All right. We're gonna. Okay. I see the maneuver is there. Well done. Yeah, that's good. Right. We're just gonna warp a little bit more because I don't need to worry too much about ullage or anything. We've gone past it, but that's fine. Right. Fire the engines, and there we go. Right. We can do this as much as we want there. We just hold that like that. It's going to just, we're basically just burning off this excess fuel right now, because we can, because we want to. Our orbiter will actually bring down its orbit over time. You see, it's going to continue on. It's going to be ahead of us a bit. You can see there we're getting a signal from it. It's going to continue on. We'll probably lose signal on our way down through the atmosphere until it comes back. But hopefully, of course, if we can orientate this correctly, we will have the battery power to survive. It looks like we may be going to end up on the dark side, which is not a major issue because we're not going to see much, but it does mean we're always going to hopefully be able to transmit back to Earth more easily because, well, when Earth's near us, it's going to be on the dark side pretty much. Right, we are coming into that there. We're going to actually just lock this there. So you can see we are losing a bit of the periaps, and we have gone completely. That's interesting. Okay. Right, we're going to shut that down, and we're going to shut this down. So we actually lost a lot of, there's a lot of delta V left in these tanks. That was interesting. Right, now we're going to decouple this, like so. We're going to jump across to this thing. This needs to be decoupled. There we go. And we're now going to turn on our avionics. Let's have a look. Activate the avionics. Wonderful. We're going to control from here just in case. And then we're going to turn on that. We're going to put ourselves in retrograde. And the RCS is activated. Wonderful. We do actually have something going on this time. Now, the major concern here is we are coming in at quite a low altitude of periaps, but we've taken a lot of delta V out of our orbit already. We've taken maybe about 1,000 meters per second out of that, so we may be okay. What we will do is we'll arm this parachute. There we go. And then we're going to follow this in nice and easy. Let's watch what happens. We're going to get this close. Right, here we go. We're going into atmosphere soon, I'm hoping. Let's have a look. Are we? Yeah, we're into the atmosphere now. So we're going to start getting some heating and things building up. We're going to see if this thing can actually survive entry into the atmosphere. It should be. We should know reasonably quickly if this thing's going to blow up or not. That's going to be important for us. Let's have a look. Does it show me my temperature? It is not showing me temperature because we do not have deadly re-entry on, because we don't have deadly re-entry in the modern versions of RP-1. It's all sort of stock modified heating system. So doesn't tell us what it is, but we can put this up and we can see what's going on. The big problem with this solar panel and us being on the dark side is we're probably going to lose power while we're doing science and things like that. So what we're actually going to do is I'm going to turn all of this on now because I want to get as much from the atmosphere as possible as we're going through there. Yeah. Oh, here we go. We're starting to get heating. Okay, this is what we expected. We've got a little bit of thrust on. The thrusters trying to just maintain it. That is getting hot. Right, we're getting some ablator build up. Okay, we're getting a bit of charred ablator coming in. Let's have it. Yeah, we're getting some heating going up. Okay, right. Okay. Are we going to jump out? We've got a lot. Oh, wow. The G-force is real. The G-force is very real. Yeah, we are slowing down at an X. This would kill people. We would have dead Kerbals if we put a Kerbal on board this. Right. Wow, that's much nicer than our last one. Yeah, that is coming in beautifully. In fact, we're slowing right down. Oh, that is superb. Have we actually jumped through the other side? I think no. We are actually going to come in for a landing. Wow, that is superb. We just done a little. Yeah, that is. I think we did a little tiny skip, and then we come back down. I have to go and check the video for that. Our charred ablator, not a problem. We could actually have reduced that significantly. We don't need as much ablator as we've got there. Now, interestingly, there's only space for 96 charred ablator, but there's a space for 120. Obviously, you don't create as much charred ablator from ablator. That's interesting. I didn't know that. That's an interesting little sort of fact there, isn't it? And of course, we're coming down in the dark. We're really slow now. This is a successful one, so we can speed this up, and we can probably even turn off the RCS if we wanted to. But I'm gonna let it stay on. We'll let this thing fall through the atmosphere, and of course now we have the joyous task of watching this thing just go through. Now, if I'd have installed something like better time warp or something like that, we're going to actually turn that off. That would be probably much better for us. So we're going to come down like that to do that. Stabilize my craft. Now we can actually just use up the RCS on this. We've not got too much of an issue. We just let it do its stuff. Every now and again, we'll just put a bit of in. There we go. We just play around with it. So I'm going to let this thing fall through the atmosphere, and we'll probably see you later on. Well, we are spinning through the atmosphere. We don't have a connection at the moment to any of the satellites in orbit. We will hopefully get that back after the thing lands. But we can now see the ground, which is different, isn't it? That's nice. We can see ourselves approaching it. We are what looks like to be a few kilometers up. So we're about 5 kilometers up. The ground is 5 kilometers up above the sort of zero level. We are unfortunately in, I believe, the Midlands, though, the Venus Midlands. So that's a negative for us. We're not getting any extra science. We may get some when we land. We might get some experiments going on there at least. But the main sort of aim for this mission, if I just have to remind you, is we need to complete the Venus landing mission. Because, of course, we launched the first of these, the Pathfinder 1, before accepting it, and it requires a new vessel. So hopefully this will complete that mission. Well, we have now been falling for about 40 minutes in real time, which we sped up, so it's about 10 minutes game time sort of thing. And we're still going. I think it's going to take quite a while to get down to that ground level. We are about 2 kilometers up from hitting down on the ground, and we are starting to get some heating building up on the RCS tanks and on the, I think it's possibly the parachute or the solar cell. I'm not sure which. I'm guessing it'll probably be the parachute. Let's hope it holds together just a little bit longer. Right, we have had a parachute fault, which is the parachute has it broke in the thick atmosphere, it seems. So I'm not sure why this one has broken and the other did not. We're coming in now. We may be okay. We may be all right. We'll turn on the RCS, see if we can control this roll a little bit before we flip out any further. Let's see what's going on. I think we're potentially going to end up landing heat shield up, which would be terrible. It would be an absolute nightmare for us. We would not get the science that we really want. We're just going to see what's going on now. Let's see, the atmosphere is getting pretty thick, and we're just trying to roll this down. We're sort of pancaking. Just one more roll will be good. Oh no, we're upside down. Oh well. Right, the RCS is gone, but we are down, so we have completed the mission. I'm not sure we're going to get much science, though. Yeah, we can shut these all down. We have the mass spec running. It's got a 9-day time on it. What's our actual? We don't know what time we're going to have left on this. This is annoying. That's the one thing that annoys me about Kerbalism, the fact that you cannot see the predicted time. I have been playing around with TAC recently, and I like the fact that it actually tells you how much time you have on your batteries. So we're looking at, let's have a look. Battery life is, it's gonna take a pounding. So we're gonna leave that there, and we are gonna jump back out and say, right, okay, we need to think of some maneuvers that we need to be doing. So let's jump to this craft here, which is our Pathfinder 2 Venus orbiter. I think what we will probably do is bring this down. We will bring this down into an orbit which is a lot lower apoapsis, and then we'll actually bring it up into a sort of a circular orbit slightly higher up, primarily just so that we can... Where are we? What is going on here? Oh, right, we're zoomed right in. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a maneuver in here at periaps. In fact, you know what we could do? We could do a thing here where we could put into maneuver planning. It's because we're doing the basic program. We can do this. We're going to do a change apoapsis. We're going to change it to, I don't know, 5,000. There we go. At the periaps, create node. That's going to take 1,900. I actually think, you know what, we're going to remove that node. We're going to change that to, we're going to put it a little higher. Let's do it there and create the node. There we go. So that's going to put us into that orbit there. And we'll stay in that orbit for a while, and then we'll bring ourselves up into a sort of a parking orbit in the sort of reasonable altitude, and it'll give us some coverage of the ground there as well, which will be quite useful. And then we also want to, so we're going to put that in there. We're going to put that into our alarm clock. Let's have a look. Is that in? Yeah, that Pathfinder Venus 2 is in. That's good. And then we'll do this, think the same with this one, Venus 1. So let's go and jump to that and see if we can do anything with that one. All right, so this one has got a slightly higher periaps, but again, it's not terrible. So we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna plan a maneuver, create that node. Why can't we do that? Remove all nodes. What's wrong with you? What is going on? What is occurring? We need to change the apoapsis. Yes, at periapsis, 10,000 kilometers. Was it 1,000 kilometers? Maybe it was 1,000 kilometers. Create node. An error has occurred. Why? Oh, why is there an error occurring? What is going on? That's interesting. Try this again. Change apoapsis at that point there to there. Create node. Remove all nodes. We seem to have a problem. Is MechJeb, now this is interesting because we had trouble with this this craft's lander. If you remember, it didn't orientate itself properly when it was connected through here. So I wonder whether we actually have a glitch somewhere in this craft. Error creating the node. All right, 1,000 works. Yeah, that's not an orbit though that I want, is it? No, that's yeah, maybe we actually had it one too high. So if 10,000, what does that do? Oh no, it does do it. Right, remove all nodes. Create node. It won't do it. Now that is interesting. So we'll just put this to there and then try and create it. It won't do it again. Remove all nodes. Create node. Right, it will do that one. Okay. Wow, that is a lot of delta V required for that. I did not expect. What is? Why is that one so high, so much higher? You know what? Remove all nodes. Let's just right. Let's do this from here. Create node. That's interesting. That is interesting. So what if we just remove the node? Let's put it. Call it 5,000. Is this a glitch that we've got? Right. So it's okay there. Okay. So remove all nodes. Let's try 10,000. Now it's okay. So we've had some sort of odd glitch going on with this one. I'm probably missing something that's just really simple. So this one's going to go into this sort of polar orbit. That will take a bit of delta V, and then we'll circularize that as well. And it should give us better coverage should we wish to send probes to Venus in the future. So we're going to put those there. We've got those Pathfinders. Oh, we've actually got Pathfinder 1's node is in a day? No. Seriously? It's only a day away. Wow, that is interesting. Well, in which case, let's execute that node then. Turn its RCS is on, I suppose. It's going to do that for us. Let's see what it's got going on. I suppose we should turn everything on for it. Does it have control is the question. Does it have? Oh, we've got to activate the avionics. There we go. That's better. Now, was that an avionics issue? Oh, we've got contract complete. We've done our landing, by the way. We've got the 6 science for that, which is wonderful. Right. So we're going to just put this thing into the right position, and I'm hoping it's going to time warp itself, is it? Yeah, there we go. We're going to hit it into time warp. It's going to ram itself up there nice and easy. And then this thing will put itself, hopefully, into orbit where we want it to. So let's have a look. We'll put it back onto here. So it's actually going to come over its dead lander now, which is interesting. So that's going to be, yeah, we're going to be well up out of there. And this is going to hopefully act as a little bit of a relay. There we go. We've got that point there. This is going to be able to act as a relay back to Earth if need be from around Venus. If we decide to send like a rover or something like that, having these around it will actually be helpful. My big concern with sending a rover is the parachute situation we've just had. That is a concern to me. And we've got this thing just firing away now. There we are. There. Look at that. Venus. Wonderful. Just firing those engines. So this is what this was designed for. Now, again, we've got this twisting going on, which is going to impact significantly our fuel supply. And I'd love to know why we're getting this torque going on. Is it to do with this and this? But no, because we actually didn't have this attached when we were using the landing stage and the transfer stage in the lander. So there's something not quite right. Is it these engines that are off center? Is it something else? I don't know. But we're definitely doing a lot of RCSing, which is not ideal. It is using up quite a bit of fuel. It does make me wonder whether this is a situation where having a very small reaction wheel that gets saturated easily but can deal with these small sort of fluctuations might be better. I don't know. Be something to look at. What we will do is we will we're gonna speed this up a bit until it gets somewhere. So because we've got about 40 seconds. The burn is a minute long, which is just crazy burn time. Well, it's not crazy burn time. It's nothing compared to a hydrolock stage. But we're working our way through it now. We should have more than enough delta V for this year. We're going to have loads and loads of delta V left over, which we can then use for circularizing in that slightly higher orbit. I'm just hoping that the onboard omnidirectional is actually capable of getting to the planet once we're actually in this orbit. We can always bring it down, but I don't really want to raise an orbit and then drop an orbit. It's a bit of a waste. Right, we can cut that off. Okay, what are we doing for electric charge? Our electric charge is going down, but why? Because we've got the avionics on, that's why. That would be it. Have we got any science equipment on board this thing? All of this is, we can actually run the mass spec. That's interesting. We can do that once we're in, where are we actually right now? We're in space low. Now, that's interesting. We're gonna run the mass spec actually. We're gonna let it run. And we're gonna start all of these actually. We can start that as well. Lowlands. Now this craft is going to be interesting for us to use, isn't it? So let's have a look. What have we got? So this one here, this is visible imaging Lowlands as well. We'll start that. So this craft we're just going to let stay in this orbit now. We're in the low region, and we're just going to, I'm going to turn the avionics off. And what does that do for our power? Our power is not going to be brilliant, is it? We are going to use power up, but what we will do is, because we're clever, we will turn off our notifications. Where are we? There we are. We're going to turn off the battery and supply notifications like that, so that we can come back to it when we need to. All right. So this can now sit here in the low space. I don't know what this is going to be like up here. Let's go up to here. Are we in low space up here? Is the question. Let's have a look. We are, where are we? We are space high. Oh, that's wonderful. So we're in space high there as well. That's brilliant. So we're actually getting space high there, space low there. So as the planet rotates and everything, we should get it. I wonder where we're going to be. It'd be even better if we were sort of there. But anyway, it doesn't matter. We'll see what we get. That's where the science has obviously been coming from. We've got quite a lot of data still. Look at that. We've built up an awful lot of data that's small value data. We've got, 0.6, 0.9 points. It all adds up, doesn't it? So we've got that going. Right. So I think we need to jump across now to the Jupiter mission. So it's going to be a bit of a different change. So let's jump over to Jupiter and we'll leave the Pathfinders to do their thing. Right. We are over at the Jupiter mission. We're in orbit. And I'm just going to have a look. Let's have a look. We've got data still being sent out. Let's have a look. We are running, what experiment are we running? We're running the mass spec still. But of course, we're out of battery. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn that off, I think. Yeah, let's turn that off and turn everything else off. And that might give us the ability to, that might give us the ability to actually get something going on here. We are using electricity up. Now, do we have the avionics on? Have we got anything on? That's the important question. We've got no avionics on. We've got, you know what? I might turn that. Can we turn off? We retract the antenna. Right. So the antenna was sending data. That's what's going to have been doing this. Okay. So we've retracted the antenna. That's a nice little thing. We could turn it off in Kerbalism, but interestingly, if it was dead, we wouldn't be able to turn off a fixed antenna in Kerbalism. I don't think. I think you would be stuck with it because it wouldn't allow you to access it. So yeah, that's a connection in progress. Yeah, we've got some data, but yeah, we don't actually have a thing there. Right. So we're going to look around now and see if we've got any options. We've got 300 meters per second. I'd really like a flyby of something. So let's play around, see what we can get. We're not coming in at a great angle, but I'm wondering what's that? That's Europa. If we could get a Europa interaction, that would be beautiful. So let's have a look. Let's have a look. Set as target. What's that going to be? That's miles away. What about this one? Set as target. Ganymede is nowhere near. It's going to be completely wrong. Callisto, set as target, nothing. So I think it's going to have to be Europa. So let's have a look. I'm going to play around with the maneuver nodes a little bit. And yeah, then I'll get back to you. Right, we have what looks like a Europa encounter with just a 50 meter per second burn. So let's actually have a look where that's going to take us. It's going to take us not massively close. Let's see if we can refine that a little bit. All I did was I saw that there was going to be a potential approach sort of thing. I did a bit of prograde retrograde, saw how close we could get with that. Then I played with, because of our inclination difference, I just did a bit of normal, anti-normal, and a bit of radial in, radial out, and I just basically walked it towards it, which has taken us, you know, a reasonable amount of Delve, but it's not bad. So if we just bring this up, could we get a nice close flyby of Europa? That's the question. Can we gather some data from Europa would be the next question. How long are we going to get in the sphere of influence? Because, you know, it's Europa would be an interesting one to get near. Go up a bit. This is going to be a polar one, isn't it? Right, okay. Right, so that's going to give us a bit of a push there. Now, let me try and remember. We're coming along this side here. That's its orbital path. Let's come back. That's going to slow us down. So we want to come, yeah, we want to come around this side, ideally, and see if it can slow us down just a smidgen. So let's see if we can just raise this up just a bit. I'd like to go equatorially. Oh, wow. We've got another interaction kicking in. What's that one? I just saw we're going out. We're going out of the right. Okay, so maybe we got the. Maybe I'm on the wrong side. That's why. Right, go the other way. There we go. We just pull it that way, and then we want to be on this side. Does this side keep us in orbit? It does. It actually brings us down. Okay, so for 50 we get a flyby. Okay, what does it do to our periaps? Is getting pushed up quite considerably, which does mean we're not going to get that low science around Jupiter that we would really like, but we can always change that again up here for 50, and you know, we're actually bringing that down significantly. We're pretty much circularizing our path. Now the problem is, of course, we are coming in completely the opposite direction to everybody else, but you know, I think that's doable. So that's going to be in node in -5, start burning 20. That makes no sense. Start burn then. When is this node going to be? Hold on a second. What are you talking about? It says it's going to be in 600 days. What? Is this playing up again? I suppose, yeah, it's going to have to do another loop, isn't it? That's going to be... Wow, we are on long orbit for this, aren't we? Right, okay. Yeah, that's 200 days. So it's doing a 200-day orbit currently. Let's... I don't want to lose that because that is a nice one, but can we do something sooner? Like, that's 173 days. That's it. We're spending a lot of time up there. That's the big problem, isn't it? So, okay, we're going to do that. We're going to set that node up. It says that's going to happen. It's just an awful long way to go to get to it. I mean, the alternative is, what would it cost us to change our inclination and go back the other way? I think we've already done that in a previous episode. We're not going to do that now. Right, so that one is set. That's going to happen in 677 days. We think we can do that. What's our charge on there? Like 9. That's good. We just need to remember to put our antenna out when we want to do anything. How much data have we actually got on board this thing? We don't know because we haven't got the antenna open. Let's extend the antenna and see what happens. We can at least drain some of that battery straight away. Yeah, it is going to go quickly, isn't it? Right. So what have we got? We've got a lot of Jupiter data actually. How quickly is that battery? Yeah, that is eating it. Wow. Okay, I think what we're actually going to do, we're gonna stop data transmission. Yeah, we're gonna stop the data transmission. What does that do for our battery? That gives us something. Can I put the yeah, let's put some of the experiments on and see what that gives us. That's done. Those are all done, are they? I think everything's done, but let's try turn it on. See what happens. Is that one going to turn on for me? Go on, turn on. Here we go. Right. Is that eating battery? It is not. So we're actually storing energy now by not having transmission on. So what we can do is we can leave that and we can just get it to do science, and then we'll just dump the science. We don't need science at the moment. We've got plenty of science research going on. So this thing can just do the science research. We've got that burning however long, and it's going to be 2 years. That's a long time just floating around. So we'll come back to you to transmit some science, I think. All right. Next one up. I think we're going to go and have a look at Pathfinder Venus 2 and set its nodes up. Right. So we have Pathfinder Venus 2, its maneuver is in 12 days. So I think we can just, let's make this the episode where we don't bother doing any of the maneuvers ourselves. We'll just get MechJeb to do it. So execute next node, turn the RCS is on, is it? Is that rotating anyway? No, I think we've just got to, we have to activate this. There we go. And then we probably need to activate everything. There we go. That's solid. Right. Now, so this one is going to be putting us into that nice little orbit there, which will go around there. Now, what I would want to do actually is check while we're at it. This has basically got, space high, volcanic rise. Oh, actually, let's get this on. I could be getting this. We want that. Do we want that? We'll just turn all this on, because we are actually going to be doing stuff. Now, I'm going to turn off data. We're going to turn off the transmitter. We're going to turn that off, because we just learned that the transmitter takes an awful lot of delta V-ishness. Oh, what's going on? Oh, we've got a, oh, I hate it when it does this. Abort node execution. Right, you know what? We're going to just warp this forward. Right, that's fine. Just warp this forward. It needs to get to wherever it needs to go to. So about here, warp here. Because we're actually so far up. Yeah, I know the batteries are getting low. We'll just turn things off. Don't worry. Come on, turn it off. Turn things off. Turn off. Turn off. Turn off. Turn off. Come on, turn off. And then the last one, turn off. Right, is it now able to keep itself going? Do we have enough to keep it charging? No, because it's turning itself off. Okay, we need to turn off its avionics. There we go, and it should now charge itself up. Yeah, we are pretty tight. So these snap 9s are just not really cutting it, are they? We're going to have to get some best of being around Venus. We should have actually put solar panels on it, but again, we designed a craft that could do Mars and could do Venus. So we live with the consequences. We're going to warp that to there. There we go. We've got battery charge back on. Let's go and just check. Can I get any science while we're here? Yeah, we'll get some more science. Get some more science. Get all of the sciences. Get some of that as well. Where's that for? That's just in high space. Okay, so that can just run for a bit. And then this will run out of battery again. There we go. There we go. It's out of battery again. It's done a bit of science. It's out of battery again. So we can just turn things off again. Wonderful. We're just going to play around like that all the time now. And then we're going to run it a bit further, warp to there. Its battery gets filled up. Then we turn things on again. There we go. And as the battery goes down, we'll start turning things off again. Oh, there we go. Turn them off. Let a battery go up again. Off we go. Moving forward. Yeah, this is just basically battery management. This is because we don't have the battery required to actually to do what we need to do. In reality, we could actually we would be much better off. How's our battery doing? Oh, we're still at 100. Okay, so can this one run as well? I think we can run the two. We can run 2 experiments at the same time. That's not bad. How long does that one take? That takes, it doesn't say it. That one takes 2 days. Okay, we're getting upgrade points. So obviously the craft down there are actually transmitting. We are not transmitting data at the moment. We're building up data. You can see there. What have we got? We've got 0.92, 295. Okay, so we've got a bit of data building up. And in actual fact, you know what? Do I risk it? I think we go for the other one. Duration 15 hours. Okay, we've got 15 hours on this. So warp to there. It should start to go down. Yeah. Is the battery going down? Yeah, it is. And then we can just turn these off again. And then we know that this is we're gonna give ourselves a push to there. And this is perfect example of what to do when you don't have big enough batteries on your craft. So then we turn all these things back on again. There we go. Oh, this one's finished. Yeah, the mass spec is finished now. Oh, good. So can we actually run on that? Perpetual. We can. Wonderful. Right, warp to there. Okay, so now we can actually just keep these two running, the image spectroscopy and the mass spec. Infrared radiometer and the image spectroscopy can just keep running because the mass spec has finished, which is beautiful. My concern is that we're going to miss out on that science because we're going to do this change. So let's see where are we going for? We're going for 10,000. I don't know what the requirements are for this, so we'll have to have a look. There we go. Right. Are we still high? We're still space high. What's our altitude? Needs to go a bit more. Let's keep going. Wait until we get down to about 10,000. We can actually judge this. I could just go and look in the log files and things like that. Right, there we go. What are we looking at now? Space height. Right, okay. So we can actually do this. This is fine. We can turn those off for now because we're going to go back into space height. Right. Let us try this again. Execute the node. Hello? Are we working? Is the RCS on? Are you doing anything? Abort node execution. Right. Execute the node. Abort node execution. Put me on the node. RCS is not responding. Oh, because would help if we put on the avionics. That would probably help a little bit, wouldn't it? There we go. Right. So yeah, I completely forget we have to have the avionics turned off on this. Otherwise, it uses up electric charge. Right. Okay, where are we? There's Venus. How far away are we? What is my charge going to be like? Let's have a look. Yeah, let's have a look. Charge. We've got 2 hours 51 minutes. The node is in 31 minutes. Okay, that's going to be fine. Then that's wonderful. Right, so we're going to execute that node. Get that thing going. This will put us into a nice little parking orbit, which will be wonderful. And then we've just got to basically refine the two craft. We do have the Neptune mission finally. We've failed 2 Neptune launches, if I remember rightly. So if this one goes, I think Neptune is a no-go for us. I think we will actually cancel Neptune as a set of missions. We do have our Saturn and Uranus missions en route, but we do need to start looking at sending some other stuff out, and we definitely need to go back to the moon. I think we've done a lot of interplanetary stuff recently. We need to get ourselves back to the moon ASAP. So maybe that will either be sort of setting up maybe a comms system or something like that, just so that we've got communications for a lander. Might be an idea actually. Send something to work on the communication around the moon, because I'm not sure we have the best communication system for uncrewed missions there. Alternatively, we send a crew out to the moon, which is again it's a bold move. I'm not sure we have the craft to do that just yet, but we will see. Right, here we go. We're gonna capturing in nicely actually, aren't we? I think this is going to be okay. Yeah, there we go. That's wonderful. And we'll pull that down shortly to about 10,000. That's good. And I think this is a nice altitude actually. We are actually going a bit late. We're gonna just, yeah, what's that done to my periaps? Oh my, that is not what I was expecting. So because of the way that MechJeb works, it has actually pulled us to a point where our lowest point is a little bit low. I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of that at all. So we're going to just pop that up a bit to, what are we getting to there? Yeah, that's better. Right, okay. We'll do that. I think we'll do that now, in fact. Let's warp to there. We should have battery for that. Yeah, we've got battery for days. Now that's interesting. Oh, because we're time warping, it deactivates the avionics. Of course it does. Right, we're going to execute that node. Get us on board. We're just going to put a little bit in. Thank you very much. That's good. We're going to just put a little bit in just to pull us out of that danger zone there. Come on, just get a bit of burny on. Let's have a look. Yeah, because if we'd have continued around, we'd be going into the atmosphere now, which is not really acceptable. Do that. Come on, get me near to it, and then there we go. Right, come on. Do it. You need just a little burn. That's all we need, just a tiny weeny little burn. Right, come on. Let's go. Get me out of the atmosphere. Come on. Are you going to fire? There we are, firing. Wonderful. And we're safe now. That's good. That's good. We can just turn that off. Wonderful. Right. So what does that mean? Well, we can turn off our avionics again. This thing's gonna sit around and do stuff. So we're going to turn off the avionics. We're going to turn on What have we got that requires time? It was the that one and that one. They are running. They've got more time. The mass spec actually has, what's that, 13 seconds to do? Is that right? It's got 13 seconds of work to do. That's interesting. Right. So we've now got, what, 80 days until we have our Neptune launch. That's probably going to come in the next episode. We need to transmit a load of science. So actually, let's just dump our electricity at the moment with this. Let's get the electricity going. Let's just dump. There we go. We're just going to enable that. That is going to literally eat our electricity for us now, I think. Is it? Have we got signal? Do we have a signal to do this? Yeah, there we go. We've started eating data going back. Okay, and you'll see. Yeah, that's just gonna get away. Look at that. We've got so much data just being that's been built up that we could just run this thing non-stop and it would just go for it. So I think what we'll do is we'll just leave this on. We're just going to leave these all on and see what happens. We've left the transmission on. It's so far only given back 0.1 science, 0.1 credits of science, partly because we keep turning off its science, because this is the late arrival. This is the one that was really important. We can now start getting science back from it, and that's going to be great for us. It's going to be another source of science. We've got about 4 hours on there, and then it'll go into sort of semi-sleep mode, and it'll work its way around, and you can just jump back and forward. So, with that in mind, from me, until the next episode, when we're finally going to send a craft off to Neptune, I think, we'll probably sort these out, and we're probably going to put together our moon landing vessel finally. From me, until next time, have a great one.